Hey, Ted here, and today we're taking a look at technical analysis for the DXY or the US dollar currency index. I'll be covering the technical analysis with Elliott Wave Theory, so let's get started here on 15-minute time frame. We had a few different ideas for this structure over here, starting from the lows of 5th of December. Since then, again, we had this as one of the scenarios, where we had this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ending the count here, and then we would have this as an A, B, and C. That was one of the options. The other one was that we had this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the main scenario now. We had divergence between the 3rd and the 5th here. You can clearly see that, and the 3rd and 5th on smaller time frame here. So that was fine. And that looks better at the moment. Again, shorts from here, we had the stop loss beyond the 1.618 here, depending, of course, how you were creating this as the potential 5th, and then we would have A, B, and C. 1.618 beyond that, we would have that stop loss, and shorts here. Again, what helped was determining that we could have this as a 5-wave move, and we would have those divergences here. That shifted our buys more towards discount, so we could be taking those shorts better. We had quite an impulsive move down here for that wave A, and another somewhat impulsive structure here. Not quite sure if this is an impulse or 3-way structure, but in any case, we could be seeing this a couple of different ways while it was forming. Either this was structure like this, and we had some kind of very ugly ending diagonal here, or this would be structure like this as a running flat, which ended up being the right one. So this was a 3-way structure like this, a zigzag. Then we were looking for a partner leg for this A wave here, for that C wave, and we got exactly to the 1-to-1 extension here around the $104.48 area. And that, again, that was the profit taking area for sure. I have a a long open from here. I still have a half of my short from up top here, and stop loss brought here, so that is going to be a profitable trade in any case. I have, for the long position, I have my stop loss below here. I don't really have a good looking structure from the lows, however, at the moment, so I'm not quite sure if this is going to be the play. But again, that was the higher time frame idea, where we would be looking for that wave 2 or wave B and then up higher. If we had taken out this 1-to-1 extension in time in comparison to this first structure here, so this basically this impulse wave structure, we would have most likely had this as a B wave. At the moment, that is still it still has the possibility of being a 5-way structure, which it would be the end of wave 1 instead. But again, don't really have a good looking structure here at the moment. The only multi-way structure I can see is some kind of expanding diagonal, which I don't trade generally. But again, I have trade set up based on this structure and not this structure, so that is all fine. We'll see how that turns out. So let's zoom out a bit and take a look at the higher time frame and the ideas here. Let's take a look at what did we have. It's here. Okay, so the overall idea here looks best, in my opinion, as a 5-way structure coming down. Don't mind the structures here. The overall idea is that we had this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the 3rd, 4th, and then 5th with some kind of diagonal in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I think we have to use that low though there, because again, otherwise we would have a flat in a diagonal, which is not a thing. So that would be the case. 5th ending at these lows. So now we zoom out again and see what this 5th 5-way structure can be apart. We can clearly see that this is not a possibility like this, because again, the retracement is way too far. 1.618 is here, so we can't have this as an A, B, and C because of that invalidation. If we are bringing it up in here into this area, probably not. Yep. So to me, this looks way better as a start of something rather than an end of something. So it's not a ending structure of a flat for that part. So a start of something. So we are thinking that this would be then some kind of 3-way structure coming up to look for the partner leg of 5 ways coming down again. A partner leg for this structure after that retracement. I got a couple of different areas of interest here. On daily time frame, we had order block here with a support and resistance area there as well. So this is definitely more of an interesting area for me at the moment. If we are looking at retracements here, the golden pocket is right around there as well. We're going to daily. Let's see. We could be, of course, bringing this up a bit into that wick that we have here. And that would be covering the golden pocket here as well. So maybe that is the area that we should be looking at. But now that we have some kind of idea what we could have here, let's zoom out again, bring out the previous count that we had, which was this one. So this one I showed you before, where we were shifting our bias, because again, this wave structure is starting to be large. And if this indeed is going to be the start of something, a 5-way structure, we would be looking for this as mentioned. And at this point, again, although it is still possible that this is the wave 4, is starting to become so large that we have to think about other ideas as well. This seems to be the targeting area. If we are pivoting now up to these highs, we could be getting to that 0.5 retracement here. Generally, if we go beyond that 0.5, then it is no longer a wave 4, and it is something else. So this is basically the last bit of hope for any kind of run up here anymore. At the moment, this is still fine. But again, the other idea that we would have to think is that we had this as a 1, 2, and this would be some kind of 1, 3, 4, and 5. It is kind of hard to get this into being a 5-way structure, because it definitely looks here more like a 3-way structure, or DXY 3, 3, 3. But again, some of these previous structures do feel like 5-way structures. Of course, they could be something like that as well, but that's that. Not really sure of the higher time frame. I do think that this was still a 5-way structure, but some of these characteristics are giving out some other ideas as well. I do think this is still going to be my main, this one that I'm currently showing, but we have to understand that this wave 2 here is so much smaller in comparison to this wave 4 that it is lowering the possibilities or probabilities of it so much that we might as well just shift our bias. But again, shift our bias if we are going to be moving or getting beyond the $101.37, and that would be at the latest. At the moment, we have already retraced the 38.2 for that previous 4th wave, so this definitely needs to be holding if we want to have this a good look at the moment even. But we'll look into it later on this higher time frame. Again, I'm not trading based on it, so I don't need to be too careful with it. Of course, it can give us some kind of market indications and directions overall, but I'm not too interested in that at the moment. I'm more looking into the smaller time frames. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for this video. Again, definitely going to be interesting to see what kind of structure this is going to form, and whether this is going to be a 5-way structure that is actually the start of something. There is of course a possibility where this was the end of something and we would get a continuation here to the downside, and at this point, at these lows here at around $104 and taking out these lows, then we can confirm that this indeed was the end of something instead of beginning of something, and that at that point again we definitely need to be viewing more downside here. But I think that is going to do it. If you made it this far into the video, again, I would appreciate the likes. Link to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.